Michael Zekome and Comrade Issa Aremo deliberated on Bishop Kuka's paper.
So I've always asked the question, why is Nigeria, why are we afraid of that word referendum when we hear of a referendum, plebiscite? Didn't we do it here at least in 1963 on the 10th of August when the Midwest region was separated from the Western region to become the fourth region in Nigeria? So referendum is not something we should be afraid of. The process by which a constitution comes into being is even more important than the contents of that constitution, which is why Nigeria derived the present constitution of 1999, that is actually Decree number 24 of 1999. So the American Constitution was people-driven, unlike the Nigerian Constitution that was a militarily imposed constitution. It can never enjoy the legitimacy, the credibility, the believability, and the autonomy of the people because it is not autonomous. Why can't we have our own constitution? It is not that it will solve all the problems, but it will be the beginning of the solution to the problems so that mutual respect will come in. We cannot have national cohesion in a state of inequity, in a state of social injustice, in a state of religious intolerance, in a state or a situation where some people believe they are born to rule and others are born to serve as clappers and as hewers of wood and drawers of water.
I think it's time for us to amplify some of those our successes as citizens. The Nigeria, I think our items say, arise, O compatriots, Nigeria call obey. This is the time compatriots must make proper discussion in a way that we can have proper dialogue. So I want to say that Bishop Kuka, and I don't want to be passionate about this, others who are talking, please stop agonizing. Let's organize. And we need to organize to build a nation. We need inclusive language. We need inclusive orientation, in a way that we build a nation. I mean, you are so romantic about America, Mike. I don't think Americans are so romantic like you. Africa managed COVID-19 better than the United States of America. They recorded almost 1 million deaths because you are a president so notoriously, not on duty, who was busy debating whether there was COVID or not. Just like you are talking about, we are debating society. Africa said, no, we must own up that we are this pandemic, African leadership other than leadership along that line. So what I want to say here, sir, is that I think we should organize our thought processes to make sure that we actually build a nation. There are a lot of challenges, and I'm clear about that. This continent can work, and it's working. And that's the last point. We must also not be insular. I'm disappointed. The way Nigerians, wait, Mike, you're a senior advocate of Nigeria. Me too, I'm possibly like you, senior advocate in labor. If you call it, I'm a member of National Institute. Bishop Kuka, you are. Even our story shows that Nigeria has worked to produce us to this level. And I think the least we can give is to return back to build Nigeria, which our grandfather built with little knowledge. We should build even more. And to do so, we need inclusive language that can build cohesion, can bring all of us together. And that's the way it should be. Forward ever, backward never. That's the way, my slogan in the labor movement. Thank you.
The event then swung into the prestigious Gold Prize segment. 4 distinguished Nigerians became inaugural winners of the annual Gold Prize Awards. Professor Ishak Oloyede, the Gold Prize in Public Service, in recognition of his impeccable integrity and selfless service to the country. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, the Gold Prize in Public Service, in recognition of his courageous, transparent, and innovative leadership in managing elections in Nigeria. Professor Mahmoud gave his remarks after receiving his esteemed award.
This honor and recognition is dedicated to all the hardworking staff of INEC, but I would also like to dedicate this to those who have constructively criticized the Commission. We cherish constructive criticisms. As a teacher all my life, there can't be new knowledge, there can't be progress without constructive criticisms. And I would also like to recognize the role of the National Peace Committee. Bishop Kuka is here, chaired by our respected former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar. But let me also recognize a category of Nigerians that are hardly recognized, and they play a very, very critical role in conducting elections in the country. Here I'm not referring to the security agencies, they play a very good role. I'm not referring to the other stakeholders, political parties, the media, civil society organizations, but I'm referring to the election duty staff, those young Nigerians on the national service. I said this over and over, that you are among the most educated, the most hardworking, the most readily available election duty staff in Nigeria. INEC can simply not do without you.
Governor Babagana Zulum, the Gold Prize in Good Governance. In recognition of his outstanding governance in Borno State, despite the security challenges, Governor Nyesom Wike, the Gold Prize in Exceptional Leadership. In recognition of his inspirational and transformational leadership of Rivers State through infrastructural revolution, Chief Nyesom Wike gave his remarks.
It is important for everybody to contribute to the development of his country, not just getting from the country, what have you contributed to the development of the country. Kayode has said the truth here, and the truth is that Nigeria is sleeping. And that is the truth. Kayode had also said here, you can't talk about unity of a country when you see injustice, when you see discrimination, when you talk about marginalization. No, that cannot be possible. I think the guest lecturer, what I understood, the essence of the guest lecturer's speech, is that we cannot talk about national cohesion when we are talking about ethnicity. You can't talk about national cohesion when you're talking about religion, over reliance on religion, over reliance on ethnicity. And so there's the need for all of us to see the need that this country must be united. But if we want to move forward, we must drop the issue of where you come from, we must drop the issue of the religion you worship. Overemphasis of these things cause a lot of disintegration, and which is not the best for us. In this country today, let us face the reality. Take, for example, the latest advocate of Nigeria, Michael Zekome, said somebody took up the issue of VAT. What is the problem about VAT? Let us tell ourselves the truth. What is in the Constitution? What is in the Constitution? And so if somebody comes to say, look, you are not implementing the provisions of the Constitution, what is wrong in that? What's wrong in that? Why should the person be said, oh, it's being controversial? What is being controversial about it? That I said, implement the provisions of the Constitution. My comrade brother Issa Arimu said, he does not like all about my politics. Nobody should like everything. There are sometimes you must like this, there are sometimes you don't like this. Even sometimes too, even you in labor, the kind of things you do sometimes, we don't like it. The kind of things you do sometimes, we will like it. So it is difficult for somebody to do everything that you must like all the time. Sometimes I have challenged INEC seriously. Now I'm praising them for what they have done in Anambra. And that is the way it's supposed to be. I cannot every day to continue to praise INEC. No. I cannot every day continue to praise the security agencies. No. Now they have performed well in Anambra State. Everybody is praising them. But when they did not perform well in Rivers State, will we praise them? Eric, know the truth. It is your duty to tell the public the truth. It is your duty to enlighten the public. As regards to the Electoral Act amendment, these days I was thinking that, look, with the importance of this Electoral Act amendment, what are you people, the journalists, the press, what have you done? What have you done to educate the people, to put pressure that the president should sign the Electoral Act? What are the benefits? What is direct primaries? What is indirect primaries? Who are those to benefit more if direct primaries is being conducted? Who are those to benefit more if it is indirect primaries? So it is important that Nigerians should know why there should be electronic transmission of results in order to save our democracy.
The event continued with the unveiling of the newspaper. The newspaper was then officially unveiled to the public. The event returned to the annual lecture, where guests sought clarifications on issues provoked at the stimulating session.
What, in your view, is the nation we are talking about? Because my view sometimes is that, are we the nationals? Is it the nationals that we are talking of cohesion, or just the geographical entity called Nigeria that we are talking of this thing? Because one thing you said that the debate should be inspired from the people's culture. And my view is that sometimes some of these conversations are 1 times 1 times 1, the same people. So is it not right that any of these conversations should build on those diversity? What is diverse in this country are the peoples that make up Nigeria. Some of those voices are not heard. And so when you talk of national cohesion, are we talking of just an abstract thing, or the nationals? Because they are excluded. That's why I always feel that when they say national security, it should be the security of the nationals, not just some entity. Thank you.
The guest speaker and discussants gave their closing remarks, responding to comments by other discussants and questions from the audience.
If he understands the concept of this topic, national cohesion, we didn't come here to paper over issues, to urinate a person and his ego. We came here to interrogate issues. Can Issa Aremu say things are not bad in Nigeria?
What I was just trying to say is that in an attempt to discuss them, we should have the orientation to overcome the challenges, not to get detained by the problems so that we don't start agonizing. Let's organize our thought processes to provide solutions.
Are you going to pretend that you don't know that the iniquity in this country, we've never suffered psychological trauma like we're suffering now? What did people sit for exam and fail? I don't think anybody is ever going to govern this country with this kind of blatant, unacceptable, literally criminal partisanship.
ThisNigeria is passionate about driving the national conversation, and as our publisher eloquently put it, a good newspaper is a nation talking to itself. For us at ThisNigeria, the discussion continues.